Hello, hello, my friends. It's time for the fall Halloween edition of the Minis Challenge, hosted by Crafted by Cory. I'll have links to Cory's channel and the playlist in the description box. Let's go to Hogwarts. For this DIY, I'll be replicating the sorting hat from the Harry Potter films using one of these color your own ornament hats from DollarTree, brown praying paint from DollarTree, and paint markers. So first I have to go ahead and get my hat painted brown. The hat is like a leather, and it's got this features of eyes here, and then kind of a downturned mouth. He's kind of grumpy, so his eyes, he's always looking like he's frowning. So I'm going to use the markers to accomplish that. The fabric on the top of the hat looks like it's like folded and scrunched up. So I'm trying to make strokes in the paint so that when it dries, it gives the appearance of folded, scrunched up looking fabric. So once my paint dried, I found a image that was easy enough for me to copy, showing how to make the eyes and mouth. So I went ahead and started slowly. I have this sped up, slowly trying to get the eyes and the mouth looking right. And pretty much the sorting hat has a really grumpy look all the time, but he's vital because he gets all the witches and wizards sorted into the house that they will belong to. So I wanted to get as close as possible. And once I'd finished the face, I just glued one of the Dollar Tree cubes onto the back, and that was it for the sorting hat. He's ready to go on my tray. For this DIY, I'm using tumbling tower blocks, white matte paint, and a black paint marker. So I've already got my wood prepped ahead of time. Just 8 pieces of tumbling tower blocks glued together with wood glue for a long-term hold, and then I just filled in the gaps with a bit of wood filler. So I'm going to go ahead and get this covered in white paint. I'm going to have like a symbol of Harry Potter's face painted on this block of wood. I made a doll last year. I had a playlist last Halloween for Harry Potter DIYs, and I made a doll, and I'm not the best artist, so for Harry's face, what I did was just have his glasses and his lightning bolt scar, and that's what I'm going to add to this bit of wood. The paint is dry, so I'm just going to use the lid from my glue stick and make circles to resemble Harry's eyeglasses. Well, I guess I should use a pencil and not a pen, and then go over it. So once I finished my eyeglasses and my black ink, I just redid my lightning bolt and went over that in the black ink, and that was it. Such a super simple but a cute DIY, so easy. I mean, tumbling tower blocks are so versatile. I absolutely love these. I think this is my most favorite thing that Dollar Tree sells. For this DIY, I'll be using tumbling tower blocks, antique white paint, some brown fabric. This is leftover from gingerbread men from Christmas, some pink ribbon, and hot glue. So I've already got my blocks glued. These are 8 tumbling tower blocks, 2 sets of 3 glued horizontal, and then 2 vertically. This will be a book, the Monster Book of Monsters from Harry Potter. So I'm going to use this fleece fabric because I don't have any fur. So this is the fuzziest thing that I have that's brown, and this will be covering to be the fur of my book. But first I need to go ahead and get my faux pages painted, and I'll just use antique white to simulate the pages. Once my paint was dry, I took my fabric and wrapped it around my faux book to see about where I needed to cut. And then I started to cut little jagged pieces that resemble the image of the monster book from the movie. So with all my jagged pieces cut in my fabric, I just hot glued the top and bottom pieces of the fabric to my faux book, and then I used more hot glue on my silicone mat to make little pieces that looked like similar to the pictures that resembled gum and teeth. So once they cool, I can just paint them and glue them onto my faux book. I'll use this ribbon for the tongue. After drawing my full page lines and my book, I snipped the hot glue pieces off and did a preliminary dry fit of the teeth and gums, and I ended up having to cut some more of my faux fur off, and then I painted the teeth and gums with the parfait pink and the antique white. Okay, so before I added my hot glue, I did a dry fit of the top and bottom teeth and then applied them with hot glue so that they would be visible underneath the fur and just peek out just a little bit. And then I hot glued the little ribbon tongue beside the teeth, and I have a package of little googly eyes, various sizes. So I grabbed the smallest 4 I could find and applied those according to the image on my phone and got those added, the 4 eyes on the top. And this little monster book is just looking really awesome. The original did have a logo on the top and bottom, but this is so small. I really didn't have any room to add the actual logo that said, the title that said Monster, Book of Monsters. So I just left it off because, you know, the eyes and the mouth, the most important parts were there. So here it is. I think this little monster book came out so adorable. The little like ugly teeth and gums. I love the way this little book came out. Let me know, what do you think of my tiny monster book? Okay, these are going to be super simple. So I'm going to take this little owl because Harry has a beautiful white snow owl called Hedwig. So I think this will be just cute. I totally forgot that I had this. I hauled these not too long ago, and this little car resembles the flying car that Ron Weasley had. So I'm going to get this painted a light blue and get my little owl painted white with the little black speckles. And I have Lost Lagoon and Snow White. So I'm going to mix these two for the car and then just use the Snow White for my owl. So next I want to try to make a remembrall. In the movie, one of the characters, his grandmother had sent him a remembrall, and it was a sphere, and there was like red smoke inside that helped him remember what he'd forgotten. So I have this epoxy resin kit from Amazon, and this is one of the molds, a sphere mold, and I can't make a red puff of smoke, but there are these little flowers. So I was figuring maybe if I take some of the flower, some of the petals from the flowers maybe, or maybe use a little bit of the powders that came with it. Maybe I can add that in, and that will be like the puff of red smoke. So I have to mix equal parts of A and B, and then add either my flour or my glitters. Okay, it's been a bit over the 40 minutes, so I'll see if, well, it feels hard. So let's see if this sphere was a success. So it took a bit to get the silicone mold off, but once I got the top popped off, I see that where the resin settled, there's like a little divot, but that's fine. That's where I can sit it down on the tier tray and I don't have to worry about it rolling off. But this was my first time ever using this epoxy resin, so not bad for my first try. I don't like the little ring that's around it, but in the movie there was like a little golden ring around the remembrall, but I just I don't know how the gold paint will stick to that, so I'll just leave it like this. I mean, it's fine. It's glittery. There's some clear spots, and this is how everything is looking on my tier tray. I could have made more items, but I didn't want this video to be super long, but I'm really happy with these cute little items representing the Harry Potter movies. I think they all turned out so adorable. I hope you've enjoyed them. Please let me know, what do you think of these Harry Potter inspired Halloween tier tray items? Don't forget to check out the playlist. I'll have the link in the description box, along with a link to Cories' channel. Thanks so much for watching. Have a blessed day.